Welcome to King Says So, a channel that advocates for one Africa, one land, one Africa, one language, one Africa, one currency, one Africa, one army. I wish to witness Africans all around the world united as one in our lifetime. Enjoy.
Amandla, Viva EFF, Viva, Tata EFF, Tata, Tata EFF, Tata, Woza 2024, Woza, Woza 2024, Woza, Niabasabana, 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 wa tintatina, wa tintatina, wa tintatina, wimpi mpira maposa, wimpi mpura maposa, wimpi mpura maposa, Magasuso Ramaphosa, Magasuso Ramaphosa, uyathagatha uRamaphosa, uyathagatha uRamaphosa, amandla. Thank you very much, fighters. The provincial chairperson, together with the provincial secretary and the collective leaders who are here with us today, the convener of deployees, our secretary general, and all regional leaders who are here today, our sub-regional election task forces, our branch coordinators and conveners of the EFF and all the ground forces who are here today. We are really happy that we had an opportunity to come and share this important day with you. We are here in a province where the fighters all over are celebrating a victory of the EFF in Saldanha Bay. And that victory is celebrated by all in South Africa. So you gave the membership and the leadership of the EFF an early Christmas as promised by the provincial chairperson. And we are very happy. Your victory, it has shown that Western Cape is available for grab and that the EFF is going to perform very well in the Western Cape. Comrades, this victory has shocked all those who want to turn Western Cape into an independent state and enslave our people. It has caused a heart attack amongst the enemies of the EFF, and that you must never ever stop celebrating it because it pains them. They don't want to see the EFF alive in the Western Cape. So I stand here indeed to salute you, comrades, and to say we are proud of what you have done here in the Western Cape, in Saldanha Bay. To win a award in the Western Cape, it's a very important development, and not just win it in J, win it decisively and destroy the ANC in a manner you have done. So as we gather here to prepare for the elections, we are inspired by that victory. And that victory will then revive even those who thought it will not be done in the Western Cape. The doubting Thomases have seen in Saldanha Bay that it can be done, and it is going to be done in 2024. That was just a warning shot. Fighters, 2024, as the youth of the EFF describe it, is their 1994. And 2024 is going to be a turning point in South Africa. That all those hopes that we had and were not achieved in 1994, they are going to be achieved in 2024. The missed opportunities by the ruling party are going to be a lived dream come 2024, because we know that the government of the EFF is a caring government which is going to take care of our people. Fighters, it is not me who says the ANC is going to lose elections. It's science. Ipsos, a research institution that is not aligned with the EFF, continuously makes announcements. If I'm not wrong, quarterly. They make announcements of how elections outcome will look like potentially. They issue the results and say, if the elections were to be held today, these are the possibilities. And they say the ANC will not win the elections. Not only the ANC, they say the Democratic Alliance will not win the Western Cape. So now, if someone says to you, the ANC is going to win, or the DA is going to win in the Western Cape, you must ask them which signs are they using. Because they must not be emotional. They must be scientific in their analysis. Bayayithanda eKhongolose, yes, you ithanda eKhongolose, mara don't be emotional. Be reasonable and talk the real numbers and signs. And when they continue to say, don't tell us about science, and continue to say the Western Cape is DA, South Africa is ANC, then you must know they are not proper. They need a psychiatric examination. So we may want to refer them to a psychiatric institution. In Xhosa they say ababadlanga. So once someone says the ANC is going to win, you must know, hello, is not a normal person. So the DA declared the EFF #1 enemy because their science told them that whatever happens, the EFF is going to overtake the DA and take the position of the DA. So how can someone just wake up in the morning and says you are the enemy #1? Saying, Zain, what did we do? It's because when they were given scientific results internally of the DA, it said to them the DA will not get 50% of the Western Cape, and the DA will not be the official opposition. That's why they've lost their mind. Because the reality is coming closer. That in this country, the EFF is going to be number one. If it's not number one, it's going to be number two, and it's not going to accept anything less than number two. And it is what the signs say. And they need to prepare that. That these people who want Western Cape to become an independent state, they must know that it will not happen, because their right-wing coalition will not govern the Western Cape. Their right-wing coalition will not govern South Africa. We are going to govern South Africa, and Western Cape will not be an independent state. They must not try the government of the EFF, because we know what soldiers are used for. And when we are in charge of South Africa and anyone wants to take chances with the Western Cape, that person will meet the might of the state. Because there's no one who's going to turn this province into a colony. This province is part of South Africa. And EFF in Saldanha Bay demonstrated that everything else that is done in South Africa shall be done in the Western Cape, because Western Cape and South Africa is one thing. So, comrades, we have no doubt going forward that we are going to be government of South Africa. So, seated here is potential ministers, potential MECs and premiers, potential HODs and DGs of the new government that will be closer to the people and deliver services to our people. Because the revolution must happen in 2024. 1994, the revolution never happened. Because revolution is not change of color of the skin. A revolution is a complete overhaul of the system. And therefore, when the revolution happens, a capitalist system shall be replaced by a socialist system which will restore the power in the hands of our people. So, anyone who says to you revolution happened in 1994, you must ask them, what did the oppressor lose if the revolution happened? And what did the oppressed gain? Because if there was a revolution, an overhauling system, then you should have benefited something out of it, because you were fighting as a motive force that stands a good chance of benefiting through the success of the revolution. So if the revolution took place, why we, the motive forces, have not benefited from that? So, when we said 10 years ago that we are a government in waiting, others started making jokes about it and said we'll be government in waiting forever. But little did they know that even before 2024, we will be government in Ekurhuleni, which we are governing very well and delivering services to our people. A government in Johannesburg, a government in Mogale City, a government in eThekwini, a government in Nelson Mandela Bay. So, through those small positions that we occupy in these strategic spheres of government, we are preparing for a bigger government. Because when we are asked a question, but you don't have an experience, because opportunists like saying that, you don't have an experience, you must say, we've got an experience in Ekurhuleni, we've got an experience in Johannesburg, because we are running health and we are running public safety. You ought to tell them that, and the departments that are run by the EFF are run professionally and successfully, because we take governance not as a glory, but as a power that can change the living conditions of ordinary people. That's why in Ekurhuleni, if you report a sewer spillage, in less than 24 hours, the EFF government will be there to resolve that problem, because we are people's government. When they say, what did the EFF achieve? What did the EFF do for the people of South Africa? You must tell them that the EFF is the one that has been taking the votes from the ANC. Because the ANC, if you go back, the ANC started losing elections after the formation of the EFF. And when we formed this organization, if some of you remember those speeches, I said, we're going to eat this elephant piece by piece. And this is exactly what we're doing. We've started eating the elephant piece by piece for the past 10 years. Every time there is an election since the formation of the EFF, the ANC has been dropping. Which means it is the EFF that is taking out the corrupt ANC from power. But naturally, the ANC must die because the new is born. And for the new to be born and rise, the old must die. So the EFF is going to rise and take over from the ANC. So, since the formation of the EFF, there is a general interest in politics in South Africa. If you go 10 years before, there was beginning to be a decline, especially the youth political apathy. But the EFF revived the interest of people in politics. And if you go anywhere today, people are aware of what's happening. Because even those who don't like the EFF, they always say, you opened our eyes. We now know what's happening in this country because you opened our eyes. And we literally opened their eyes because they were not aware that there is a channel on TV of Parliament. 408. They never knew. They never watched Parliament. They used to vote and go into slumber and wake up after 5 years, vote for wrong people again. Now they vote and go watch TV and monitor this sleepist of the ANC in Parliament, and they say, whatever happens, this one, we are not going to vote for him in the next election. Why? They are able to see that person on television. So fighters, you have made politics so fashionable. So fashionable. So much that even when a boyfriend and girlfriend fight each other, they say point of order. Point of order. You have normalized the political language. It has become the normal vocab because EFF has normalized politics. That's why every stupid in this country, after the formation of the EFF, they all think they can form political parties. Thanks to EFF, it has opened their eyes. We're happy. They now know, they now can do it because they've seen the EFF doing it. Whether they will succeed or not is something else. But they were able to see and learn from the EFF. For sure, even in their own meetings of their own political parties, they ask themselves, how does the EFF do this one? How does the EFF do this one? Because there is no one who formed a party after and even before 1994 who can match or compete with the EFF when it comes to political mobilization and organization. When we said, and I made this observation in one of the gatherings, that the biggest problem of why these parties have never defeated the ANC is because they don't exist where the ANC exists. So everywhere else where you see a flag of the ANC, you must raise the flag of the EFF, because the ANC must be contested everywhere. So you can't say, we are going to defeat the ANC. There is an election in Saldanha Bay. You are not there. And then you say, we are going to defeat the ANC. You have to be where the ANC is and fight with them, take them head on, take them toe for toe. Here in Western Cape, your job is a lot, because you have to take the ANC on, take the DA, both of them combined, and defeat them. So, the kind of energy we brought in Parliament is too much. There's nothing wrong with going on the stage, and the ANC in Parliament knows that. They've suspended us for political reasons, not for misconduct. How can a man who's raising his both hands approaching the president be a threat to a president? Because everywhere, when you come in peace, your hands must be up. Once your hands are up, you are simply saying, I come in peace. So why would someone, and this one doesn't only come in peace, hands up, and he's holding a poster. So you can't say, I can't see these hands. He's going to take out a knife, he's going to take out a gun and shoot a president. Protest in Parliament is allowed. Actually, Parliament is the highest stage in the world for protest. Because Parliament, it must be a mini heaven where you say or do anything as long as you don't endanger anyone's life. In Parliament, you can do anything. That's why when a fool says rubbish in Parliament, you repeat it outside. You know why they say stupid things inside there? You can't sue them. They can just say anything they want to say. They are protected because it's Parliament. So, when we protest on the streets in Kailicha, here in Philip, they shoot us with water cannons, send police to suppress protest, then come to Parliament to do the same thing. There is no longer a difference between Parliament and the protest in the streets. They are all treated the same. Parliament supposed to be the most protected space. But they suspended us because they don't want us to attend next year's State of the Nation address by this criminal Ramaphosa. So they are using the rules of Parliament to stop the EFF from attending the State of the Nation address, because this matter that was suspended for happened in February. We are only being suspended in December. And they don't say your suspension is in December. They say they jump December, they jump January, they go to February. Because February, it's where the State of the Nation is going to happen. So it's a political expediency more than anything. And it must never shake you that maybe our leaders did something wrong. No, we are being managed so that Ramaphosa can have a nice, uninterrupted State of the Nation, because it's the last one. But they suspended 6 members or something like that. And we are 49. Whether we are inside that parliament or not, some of us, what was going to happen when we are there is going to happen even when we are not there. Ramaphosa will not have a peaceful State of the Nation address in 2024, because the first demand we are going to demand as we enter that parliament is, where are our leaders? Where are the representatives of the people? Because these people are not employees. They were sent here by voters to come and listen to the State of the Nation on their behalf. Therefore, we can't proceed in the absence of others. So, they are not solving a problem. The problem, if you want to solve it, just go to IEC and cancel the EFF. Because as long as there is an EFF, you will always have a headache, especially if you are in cahoots and in bed with white monopoly capital. The youth of South Africa today love politics. As I speak to you, there are 5 youth festivals of the EFF in Gauteng, in all the regions, with the best of the best artists. What is an entrance? You have to take out your ID, so we check your voting status. If you are not registered to vote, we don't turn you back. We register you by the gate and you enter. Yakabanga, EFF, Yakabanga, EFF, Yakabanga. It's an organization of thinkers. So, again, if they say to you, why do you say the youth love the EFF? You must say, you go to 80% of universities and TVET colleges of South Africa, they are governed by EFF student command. Why is it like that? It is because in those institutions you find the young intelligentsia. You cannot mislead them with NSFAS. They know it's mess. They are victims of that mess. You ought to make sense for the youth to follow you. If you don't make sense, the youth will not follow you. The only organization that makes sense to the youth is the EFF. That's why the youth of South Africa are following the EFF, and that's why we must register as many young people as possible, because you know young people's vote is an EFF vote. So once they say 300,000 young people have registered to vote, you know all of them, including the ones who belong to the ANC, all of them, they are going to vote for the EFF. Including the president of the Youth League of the ANC is going to vote for the EFF. He's not going to vote for this remorse of theirs. So the youth must register to vote, and any young person who's not registered to vote, you must tell them they are sellouts, because this country is confronted with a potential collapse, and only the youth can rescue it, because the future belongs to them as the youth. And if they want a good future, they have to take it into their own hands. This country is where it is now because of the youth. The 1976, even before that, the formation of the ANC Youth League in 1944 revived the dead ANC, which had less than 10,000 members before the Youth League was formed. The Youth League was formed, adopted a radical program, radicalized the ANC, made the ANC to take that program in 1949, which amongst others included armed struggle and mass mobilization. The ANC was an organization of gentlemen. It didn't involve guns. It didn't involve protest. They were fighting through letters, deputations to London, through a ship. Wait for 3 months to arrive that side. Wait for the response of the Queen for 3 months. That's what the ANC was from 1912 until the youth said, no, this is not what we want. That led to the arrest of the leaders. Then Steve Biko came. The youth brought black consciousness, which inspired 1976. 1976 inspired 1979, the formation of COSAS. The youth inspired, and they were the biggest affiliates of the UDF. The youth formed SEICO, South African Youth Congress, here in Cape Town, 85, 86, because that decade Tambo had said to them, render South Africa unworkable and apartheid ungovernable. The youth responded to that call, and they were declared young lions. Since the call was made to make apartheid unworkable and South Africa ungovernable, since that call, there's never been peace in South Africa, led by the youth. State of emergency was declared twice in 1986 because it was difficult. First state of emergency, which was supposed to persuade the youth to be scared. The youth became more militant. They had to declare another one. Then the 90s and 94, it has always been the youth in the forefront. So why is the South African youth taking a back seat when it is needed the most now? You must be like the 1976 generation and say, we are not going to accept 30 years of mediocrity. We are not going to accept 30 years of economic and social exclusion. We are excluded socially. Economically, there is consensus. Socially means you may want to go and swim at Camps Bay Beach. You don't have the means. The heart desires anything that the heart desires, but because you are economically excluded, therefore automatically socially you don't qualify. They use the money to exclude you. So we must say we want 30 years of jobs, 30 years of homes, and not these shacks that we see all over Cape Town when you drive from the airport. We need houses and proper houses for our people. 30 years of poverty and hunger. I'm going to Eastern Cape tomorrow. That's where they vote the ANC the most. But the children have started dying. Not theory. Children have started dying in the Eastern Cape because of hunger. They die from hunger. And their parents gets told, your child died of hunger. That parents wakes up the following day to go and vote for an organization that killed their children. You talk of mud schools. You talk of pit toilets. You talk of the roads that even a truck can access. All of that is in the Eastern Cape. If you want to see how brutal the ANC is and how uncaring the ANC is, go to Eastern Cape. And that's where the people of Eastern Cape still vote for this party that has a president who goes and opens a tap of water and call newspapers and TV to come and see a president opening a tap. One tap. The whole village does not have water. He goes and opens one tap. And then we must celebrate, we must clap hands. Gender-based violence is the highest pandemic in South Africa. When he came in, he called a summit on gender-based violence and promised action. After that summit, it was as if he's opening the floodgates against women. It became worse. When he came in, they said, oh, the municipality, the corruption, poor service delivery is going to finish. It's worse. When he came in, they said there's going to be more jobs. The guy is going to create jobs. The guy has got money. The guy knows economics. Hey, we are more unemployed now than we were during Zuma. It's worse than that. And they said he's loved by business. He's loved by other countries. There's going to be a huge investment and the economy of South Africa is going to grow. The economy of South Africa has declined under his watch. Tell me one thing that this guy is doing well. One. Except to waste the air that he breathes with that big nose. Other than that, there's nothing that is doing properly. Comrades, where we are in Philippi and everywhere else in the Western Cape, it's a crime scene. The levels of gangsterism, the rampant crime, the killings in our townships, it's a mess. We have succumbed to extortion in the Western Cape. If you want to survive as a businessman, if you want to stay afloat as a businessman, black businessman, you have to pay extortion. They go and say they want 30%. They want 30%. Anything that is done by a black person here, there must be 30% by gangsters, by criminals. But to show that this is not a genuine thing, I've got no problem with 30%. But bring your company. Do the work. Let the skill be transferred to you. You cannot just come and say 30% money and then you leave. You have not done anything. Because you are a gangster, everybody is scared of you here. Extortion is a big thing here in the Western Cape. So, we cannot allow the people of Western Cape to continue living the way they are living, where black people are told to pay 30%. If this 30% was genuine, why haven't we heard that these gangsters went to close Woolworth at Waterfront and demand 30% at Woolworths or at Pick n Pay or at ShopRite? Why haven't they said that these criminals have closed old mutual offices? They want 30% in the old mutual company, the insurance company. Why have they not closed a single bank here and say we want 30%? Every business owned by gangsters. And gangsters go and tell people in their communities and force them to vote for DA. If they don't do it, they will attack them. Bomalusi, boy, there were serious allegations against them of working with gangsters. Here in Western Cape, the most corrupt province. But this corruption is done by white people. Therefore, it's not corruption. It's corruption when it's done by a black person. Helen Zille went to give her own child computers and laptops and what of government. It was never an issue till today, because it was done by a white person. Imagine if Malema had given not even government laptops, EFF laptops to his children. And it comes out that Malema gave his children EFF laptops. They don't belong to government. But everyone will have his mouth open, including those who are not members of the EFF. That's how much they feel entitled to the EFF. But when whites steal from them, they don't say anything. They are fine with that. Comrades, our people in Kailicha, in Nyanga, in Philip, in Langa, they stay in shacks. With all this terrible weather that you experience here in the Western Cape, our people survive through that in the Western Cape. And when you go and check all of those people who are surviving through this painful process, they are all black. Just next to them is white suburbs, 2 nations in one city. The other one is white, the other one is black, the other one is rich, the other one is poor. That's an experience we have here in the Western Cape. Every tender that goes out of government is a cartel. They are given to certain people who must support the campaign of the DA. So we must take over government and fight this corruption. Comrades, everything under Pravin Gordhan has collapsed. Everything under this government has collapsed. PRASA, the EFF, through Secretary General, wrote to Minister of Transport and said to the Minister of Transport, where are the long distance trains? Especially now, because we are going on holidays. We need a train from Johannesburg to Cape Town, to East London, to Musina, to Durban. From last year, September, till now, there hasn't been a single long distance train. And that train, long distance from Johannesburg to Musina, was always full. You can't say it didn't have business. Now, after we wrote a letter, they do public relations. They bring a train yesterday or a day before yesterday, say, here's a train. We are going to Cape Town. Long distance Cape Town. It didn't go anywhere. The next thing, the train is stuck. We send buses, the train is stuck. Because there is nothing. And then they pay, I give you example, they pay 10 million to rent these locomotives. 10 million. Then they take 6 and put it aside. Then they don't make the 10 million back. They make 4 million. And then when they go to Scopa, they say we spend 10 million to hire locomotives. And they just gave us 4 million. Can you see this thing is wasting money? Which is not true. They packed the other ones so that the money cannot come back. And then they say PRASA is not working so that they can privatize it and give it to their friends. So you must make it like it is dysfunctional. If you want to privatize it, make it like it's dysfunctional. It's not profitable. Then privatize it. And the EFF and all parties in scope are going to say, no, this is a waste of money. This is a waste of money. But when you go to investigate, why are these trains not making money? No, they packed the other ones. Because impression must be there is no business in passenger rail. And those are our people who go to Eastern Cape. They've left Eastern Cape to Johannesburg to go and look for work. To go and look for work. They've been zamming the whole year. The little resources they have, they're like, no, let me buy a ticket of the train and save some of this money so that I can go and feed the children. When they arrive, there are no trains. You have to pay for buses which are expensive and not safe. No one is talking about that mode of transport which has been collapsed and which is benefiting our own people. So we have to expose all of that. Look at post office. Who can say we don't need post office? Well, everybody must receive a parcel. Everybody, there's nothing wrong with post office. Make it to be fashionable and to comply with the times. It can't operate like the past. That's what happened. You know what happened, comrades? When cell phone was coming, Telkom went all over the villages to install telephone lines. Millions of rands were spent. If you go anywhere, you find a telephone line. It was installed just on the eve of cell phone. Then after spending millions, the cell phone came. No one wanted a telephone. Because there is no visionary leadership which has got capacity to engage in scenario planning. To say, these are the things that are coming. There is new technology now. How do we make sure that post office is relevant to that technology? But no one can say, we don't have people who need parcels, therefore post office must close. Especially now, with online shopping. Why does Uber Eats survive and post office can't survive? It's because Uber Eats is technology. I'm in the village, I'm buying shoes from Johannesburg. The simplest address, post office. Why is it post office? Everywhere in South Africa there is post office. Online shopping can never replace post office. And the network that post office has gives it more advantage than the rest of these people who are delivering parcels. We're better than them. It needs leadership with vision. What happened? 6,000 people are going to lose jobs because they brought a business rescue on post office. The ANC said it's going to create jobs. In reality, the ANC is destroying jobs in South Africa. So, comrades, when we open the year next year, we must open the year with the full mass action demanding that Pravin must fall as a Minister of Public Enterprise, because Pravin is the one who messed up this country, and Pravin must single-handedly take responsibility for collapsing all the state-owned enterprises. What happened to our mighty Transnet? What happened to Dinel? What happened to SAA that we used to be proud of? Pravin says it's a state capture. We listened to that nonsense at the beginning, but it is now 5 years. You were in leadership. When you said elect us, we will fight state capture. You didn't say elect us, we'll fight state capture after 10 years. You only asked for 5 years. In 5 years' time, you're still complaining about state capture. The problem is not state capture. The problem is lack of leadership. Pravin is overrated. And this criminal here, Johan Rupert, if he loves this country and he wants this country to function, he must remove Pravin. Because Pravin is put there by Johan Rupert. It's not Cyril. Cyril has got no power. He's a puppet. The real president is in Stellenbosch there. He's the one that threatened to collapse the economy of South Africa if Zuma doesn't reinstate Pravin. This one here. And it happened. Pravin came back. And he came back more powerful to come and destroy what is left of our state. These people can't take care of their own organization. The ANC is being liquidated. It's in court. It's owing monies to Ezulwini. They must pay. But they don't have capacity to run their own internal affairs. How can they run the state if they can't run their own internal affairs? 104 million or something. And we're told Ramaphosa is a multi-billionaire. He can't rescue his own organization. Comrades, this debt of the ANC is going to be a debt of South Africa if we don't remove the ANC come 2024. Comrades, we had a meeting with the people of Palestine through Hamas in the EFF, and they gave us a very clear account of what's happening. Women are being killed. Children are being killed. The hospitals that are still standing and have not been bombed have got no medication. Therefore, they don't even qualify to be called hospitals. Israel is engaged in ethical cleansing of the Palestinians. Under our watch, the world is doing nothing. The UN tried to pass a resolution on ceasefire to allow medication, food, water to reach Gaza and all other parts of Palestine. The USA vetoed. And therefore that resolution cannot be carried. But when the USA vetoed the resolution on ceasefire, it was very clear that the war is not between Israel and Palestine. The war is between America and Palestine. Because Israel is a military base of America in the Middle East. Therefore, when we demand the freedom of the people of Palestine, you must know that the real enemy is USA. And it must be made very clear that America is the one that is killing children. America's civilized democracy is the one that undermines the international law. America that is civilized is the one that is killing women in Palestine. Tomorrow, we will wake up with no single Palestinian. We'll read in history that they used to be Palestinians. And we will be there to testify that it's true. But the question will be, what have you done? As the EFF, we played our role, and we play our role in solidarity with the people of Palestine. We said at the Israeli embassy when we were marching that McDonald's must issue a statement distancing itself from McDonald's of Israel, which was wrapping its food with the colors that reflect the Israeli flag. McDonald's did that. We said to Woolworths, we are not like these gangsters of yours in the Western Cape. We said to Woolworths, we draw every product that comes from Israel. They've withdrawn it. We said to Parliament, let's pass a resolution that says Israeli embassy must leave South Africa because we cannot share a territory with murderers who are committing genocide. That resolution of the EFF passed. So, fighters were not just talkers. They've been talking, these people, before the EFF came. This war of Palestine doesn't start now. It started long before, since 1945, before the EFF was formed. Only after the EFF was formed, South Africa begins to take a firm stand and on the side of the people of Palestine. No one can buy us. We're not bought by anyone. We must always be on the side of the weak. When you are walking on the streets and you find two people fighting and you want to separate them, the first thing you are going to do, without talking as a normal human being, the first thing you are going to do is to look at who is the weakest. And then you grab the strong one and remove the strong one from the weak. You don't go and grab the one who's on the floor. You grab the one who's kicking this one who's on the floor. Because your instinct will always tell you, be on the side of the weak. That's what we need to do. Fighters, you say you are ground forces. You say you are leading the struggle for change on the ground. But one thing you need to know when you live here today is that there is no EFF without you. You are the epicenter of this revolution. You are the lifeblood of the EFF. And without you, there is no EFF in the Western Cape. And let me give you an example, because I teach very easy. When you live here, if you can't pass this test, then I'm not the problem. You are the problem. If we come here into this church of Reverend Muthala to have this meeting, and on my arrival, I find these people who are seated in front here only, the meeting of the EFF has failed because you were not there, but the leadership was there. So the leadership can be there. Without you, there is no EFF. That's why we have to make sure that you are the people who understand the EFF, because you are the ears, You are the eyes, you are the mouth of the EFF. And therefore, we need to invest in you as a ground force, because you are the ones who are going to lead us from the front. Comrades, you can't be a ground force if you can't agitate. You can't be a ground force if you can't lead a community protest. You sitting here and West, this one's in front and the one's here, because I can see there are others who have tables, others don't have tables, so you can see, okay, there's a difference. This one's on the tables and this one's here, they say they are ground forces. They are even worse. They say they are leaders. But they've never led a single community protest. And then you call yourself a ground force. Huh? A ground force must lead a community protest, but be so smart to distinguish between authentic protest and factional protest. Because there are certain protests in Philippi that are not genuine. It's ANC factions fighting. Do not join such protest. But where the community is fighting legitimately and genuinely, you must ask your provincial chair. I see that video. I send it to him from Western Cape. I say, I don't see the EFF flag here. Why is there no? This is a genuine issue. I'm not from Western Cape. From where I'm sitting, I can see this is genuine. Why is the flag of the EFF not there? Comrades, you must identify with the problems of the community, and you must be solution provider. Don't just lead protest yet you don't have a solution, because you become a complainant. A ground force is not a complainant. It's a person who provides solutions. Please love, as a ground force, love your communities. Don't love them now because we are going to elections. Don't leave this meeting and go and campaign for the EFF if you don't love communities. Don't go and pretend in our name that you love communities. No. Love communities. Let it come natural. And when you love communities, when you help communities, you don't say at the end after helping them, vote EFF. Why do you say that? Help genuinely without expecting anything in return. And you think that vote is not something in return. It's something in return. Stop asking for anything in return. It's now end of term. Children must get reports. One principal in a school here in Philippines is refusing to give them reports. Then the parents tell you a ground force. You stand up and go there and you negotiate with the principal. No, look, the contract is between you and the parents, not with the child. The report belongs to the child, not to the parent. So you want to pursue someone, is this one's, not this one's. These ones must still know how they performed so that in December they can prepare for the next year, right? Then they give children reports. On your way out with children and parents, or yeah, we helped you. We helped you, must vote EFF. You see what the EFF. No. Do not do that. Do not blackmail our people. Do not do that. Help them, thank them, go separate ways. The canvassers of the EFF will come. And when they enter, without you knowing, without them knowing what you did, when you enter, you just hear communities, these ones are ours. These ones are ours. Hey, I wish we were going to elections tomorrow. These ones are ours. Because of your work. When you love communities, you wake up in the morning, you are going to work, you are going to a meeting, you are going to this program, but you have some time. There is an old gogo who stays alone there. What stops you from making a turn to check if she's still fine? Because things happen here at Western Cape at night. There's an old woman there. You know that woman. It's not your issue. You are not interested, but you love communities. You pass that house. You don't go and check on her. One day, you decide, let me go and check on this old gogo. Just to mark register that Malema is going to be irritating us, that we don't love communities. Let me just do it for the sake of EFF. Then you go in, you find, God forbid, a gogo was raped last night. She's about to die. You carry her, put her into the car, rush her into a hospital. Save her life. She returns back to the community. And hear what that community is going to say about you. Not anything, just a small gesture can bring about huge results. What stops you as a councillor, as an MPL, as a businessman, as someone who can afford to say, hey, the owner of the taxi, how much is this taxi? How much do you make per day for a taxi that moves from Philippi to Cape Town? How much? He says, no, I make 800 per day. Or okay, I'll give you 900. You take these gogos to their paying point where they collect their SASSA money, and then you take them back. And then it's a monthly thing. 900. 900. You're sitting there, you're like, it's my thing that I'm doing for my communities. That's when you fall in love with communities. I live with gogos. As we speak now, I've taken 2 tractors to go and tilt the land for them because it's a rainy season. They want to plow there where I come from. Because I love communities. So as an individual, I can do this much. As a ground force, you ought to be a charitable person. We are all poor, we have no money, we have nothing. But when you open your wardrobe, you still have the clothes you were wearing at grade 8, they are still there. You still have the shoes that you are wearing from, they are still there. And then you go addressing people. We love our communities. You can just take these old clothes and give to poor people in your community who are going to extremely appreciate without losing anything. If anything, you have gained something. There is more space now in your wardrobe. A fighter must be charitable, someone. How does a fighter take food, a picture, and put it on a Facebook, on a Twitter? And then you are the chairperson of a Philippi branch where the people are the poorest of the poor. You put a plate of food on Facebook, they must eat it there. What is the purpose of putting it there? What must happen? What must happen? So you must not only be charitable, you must also not show off. and demonstrate opulence. Our people are poor. Why do you take Mercedes-Benz a picture of my German machine? No one says don't drive a German machine. But what is this display of opulence? How does it benefit the revolution? Uapare mapantas ka ubatwala ba Youth League wearing belts like Youth League people. And then you tuck in where the Gucci thing shows out. What must happen now with this Gucci? That's what the chairperson of the ANC in KwaZulu-Natal does. He wears a Gucci belt and tuck in for people to see Gucci. So, and then you say you are different from the ANC. Njani? Because you are both displaying opulence in public. One woman said to me, no, one journalist says to me, but you are not the one who can tell people about display of opulence because you are known for that. I said to her, show me one picture of mine where I'm displaying opulence. Show me one picture of mine where I'm showing my house. I said to her, you know who did that? They say, no. I said, it's you. It's you journalists who go and take my properties pictures and put them there. I don't do that. I've got a 17-year-old boy. Ordinarily, at that age, he should be showing off. But he knows, at that age, in that family, we don't do that. It belongs to you. Don't do that. So, a charitable person who doesn't display opulence and what the left hand is doing, the right hand must not know. Because stop with your charity, because after giving us clothes, you want to go around saying, it's me, this dress. But you look so nice. It's me. If you are going to do that, don't help at all. Don't help at all. If you are going to use your charity to humiliate people, do not help. Fighters, it's Christmas now. We are going to the holidays. Our people are going to be feasting and a ground force. And comrades, don't get me wrong. If you don't have the means, don't even get worried about what I'm saying. I'm preparing you for the time you have the means. You should know that a ground force with the means, this is how they behave. You cannot have the means. We're going into these festivities. There's a family there. That is a laughing stock of the whole community. We all know about it. We all know that around lunchtime on Christmas Day, the children are going to go to different houses just for them to eat. The most basic things are not expensive. You just buy them the most basic things that you will have a Christmas lunch. By that, you could have turned an attitude of a hopeless person into a hope. By just going to buy the children of that family some clothes and shoes, you could have instilled in these children that it's not all bad. You can do it alone. Someone was putting pap on this social media, pap and pieces of chicken. Hey, I don't know what my mother did, but this food used to taste very nice when we were young. They used to give us this food. That's you. That's you this December buying a 12.5 millimil one braai pack, salt, fish oil, this, that, giving to that family. I'm looking at that picture, I'm like, hey, what is this guy saying? So someone says in the comments there, this doesn't look nice. Hey, my guy, you don't know. The things that came out of this arrangement, they were proper things. Proper food is proper, is what made us to be where we are. Someone provided the basics for us, and through those basics, we never became despondent. We continued with the struggle to be where we are today. So let's go and do that with other children. A fighter must be someone knowledgeable. You must be knowledgeable. You must read something. Because all of you, you wake up every day, you read those things, useless things of Facebook, you read those useless things of Twitter, you watch TikTok, YouTube. Combine all of that time, bring all of that time together, and see how much time you spend on those things. It's the same amount of time a chapter takes in a book. You read a chapter. When you are done, you go back to your social media things. But you read something. Even if you don't remember what you read, there's no problem. Don't worry. As long as you read something, you have exercised the mind. But let me tell you, that exercise of the mind works in a different ways. As you read, it stores. It puts in some library. One day someone just comes to you, with some topic, and you respond like in a very informative way, and those things are starting to come out. You see, when that person leaves, you turn to your friend, hey, show me. I don't even know where those things came from. Hey, I was shocked even myself. You will not know, because it's those things that you have been reading. They are stored somewhere. They are going to come very handy for you one day. It's not for me. You're not for EFF. It's for your own personal development. People who don't read, they are the ones who have put us in this situation we're in, because they've accepted wrong things without reading. Fighters, a fighter is a forgiving person who doesn't hold grudges. You don't hold a grudge as a fighter. You make your point here, and when that point is done, we continue with the work of the EFF. You are not going to live here planning and designing a plan on the downfall of someone you disagreed in a meeting. Otherwise, this organization is going to die. You know, they will know, those who have gone to the mountain, there's what we call Amatkaban. Amatkaban comes from the initiation schools where they have to put in Imbola. I said Imbola, Dali said it's not Imbola. You guys aren't. He said it's not Imbola, it's in Ngele or something. Yeah. They put in Ngele, Imbola. No, Dali says Imbola is the one that they put after. Yeah. In Ngele, they put it there. Now, you have to apply the whole thing, the whole body, even at the back. Because if you leave that house, mud house, the hut, if you leave it without having applied it nicely and diligently, perfectly well, you run a risk of being beaten up outside by the teacher. There is no mirror. You don't know if you have done yourself well at the back or not. The safe way is to get the kabane lukabe. Now umkabe. Then you are matkabani. You are matkabani. Matkabani means we've got each other's back. I've got no mirror. I know how brutal this teacher can be. I'm so scared that if I get out here, I'm going to get into trouble because I don't know what's happening at the back. But I have to trust you that you are my likabani. You will do good by me. You will never mislead me. I must trust you like that. I must trust you to be my mirror. I must trust you to take care of the enemy at the back. When I'm busy with the enemy in front, I don't have to turn back. You, as Makabani, you look after each other. You don't come to a meeting, they say the convener gave you an apology. Hey, I won't come. You come here, comrades, is there any apology? You don't say anything, but you've got an apology of your convener. You want the convener to be absent and absent and absent so that he gets expelled. For what? For what? You are given an apology, release it. Even when you don't have an apology, when you look around, you don't see your lekaban. But yes, where's Floyd Shibambu? Puncher. They had a puncher. They are coming. Yeah. You don't know. But you have to stand up and defend. You will get a response after what happened. We do that with you time and again, repeatedly, time and again, to a point where we get tired of protecting you. Now we hand you over to the leadership because our conscience is satisfied that we have protected you and you are not falling into line. Maybe the leadership will do something about this issue. Not on first instance. You'll see an opportunity to kill your own comrade. And then when you leave here, you say, no, we are Makabanis. We are together. So fighters, look after each other and make sure that you don't sell each other out. Not in the organization, not in public. Worse, on Facebook, writing bad about one another and the leadership and the organization itself. And then you come here and say, I'm a disciplined ground force of the EFF. When you speak bad about the leadership in private. Always speak good about the leadership and the organization, both in public and in private. Because those people that you are talking to in private, tomorrow when you take a platform and say, Viva not you. Not you. So, you look after each other and never conspire for the downfall of anyone. As a convener of the elections who are here, your job is to make sure you convene election activities in your ward. You don't just go around and say you are a convener. Convening what? You have never even convened a meeting. Your job is not only to convene meetings, it's to convene activities in your ward, election activities. What are the activities? A march to police station about GBV, a march to clinic about ill treatment of HIV positive women and men who go there and gets told, line up this way. The ones ARVs this way. You say, no, we don't want that behavior. You march there, organize netball tournament, soccer tournament. Those activities don't even have to be big like this. Small as they are. As we are marching to police station in Kailicha, we are 30. Tomorrow when we say march to police station, they know we mean it because they saw us doing it before. They come and join. Because people are attracted by activities. So when we arrive in your branch, we say to you, where are the activists? We can't see the activists. You say there are no activists. You know why there are no activists? The forms, they are going to call at the head office. Hey, we need to meet the target. You launch them and then you leave them. Where are the VDTFs? They disappeared. How did they disappear? Those comrades are not serious. We go there to check. They say, this guy came to establish us here as a VDTFs. That was the first time we saw him. That was the last time we saw him. We came together once or twice, but we don't know what is expected from us. We were waiting for this day for you guys to come and tell us what needs to happen. So, as a coordinator, make sure the VDTFs are alive and have got activities. So, how do you make sure the VDTFs are alive? There must not be activities in one VD. Activities must rotate. Activities must rotate in your VDs. Some of you think that your VD is a ward. That's why when you speak, you say, CIC, we're going to win this ward. And true, you win your VD. The next thing they say you lost, you don't understand. John, we won, Monsieur. That's not a word. That's not a word. Your word includes suburbs of white people, Papa. You don't know what's going to happen. The other VD, 30 kilometers away from you. Then you must tell us again if you want to be a coordinator. I'm sharing this information with you for you to now decide, am I the right place here or what is the story? So, you can't be a coordinator who has got nothing to coordinate. Coordination, coordinator. That's your job. You get that right. You get that right, you are done. You have to be everywhere, in the colored areas, in the white areas, everywhere. And you must never get tired and don't seek popularity. Do not claim individual victories over collective victory. No one must never attribute the victory of Saldanha Bay as his victory. If it was not me, if I didn't take out a cow, self-gratification, it's wrong. Always the collective leadership of the EFF. Attribute victories to the organization and failures to yourselves. Or here I didn't play my role. If you do that, you are going to enjoy being in an organization. It's very nice to be in an organization. Now when I'm called to an EFF meeting, I don't even feel any form of reluctance. Even if I sleep at 4 or 5, I'm going to wake up. And if I'm not going to wake up, I'm going to be woken up violently. As if people love EFF. And they are fighting with me that I came back late in the name of a meeting of the EFF. Wake up, there's a meeting. You said there's a meeting, wake up. Yeah. I wake up and go to an EFF meeting without reluctance. I don't fight with anyone in the EFF. I hold no grudge against anyone. I'm going to express my opinion. If it's carried, it's carried. If it's defeated, it's defeated. I'll try another day. But if you are going to take these issues of the organization and personalize them, you are going to die of heart attack. You must ask the former provincial secretary. He's here. He's no longer a provincial secretary. He's here. Because nothing is personal. The position of provincial secretary never belonged to him. It's an EFF position, which he accepted and knew I will save it for this term. Now, his chairperson took it personal and then left to join gangsters. I can tell you wherever he is, he's a hobo. No one leaves the EFF and survives, because the EFF is the most tolerable organization. There's nowhere you can go. If you defeat EFF, then no one can handle you. No one. So, it's because he took things personal. They belong to him. For sure, even endlini. But it's Tlalo, Ekaya. They call him Tlalo, Ekaya. Huh? SG, your wife, she's cooking there. No balom kulu. That's how you get called at home. When you leave, you're like, what are they going to call me now at home? Because you have personalized the issues of the EFF. So, fighters who are going to elections, you are not going to fight with anyone. We do not destroy other people's posters. We do not stop other people from canvassing in our wards and even in our homes. If the ANC wants to enter my house, they must come in. If you believe in your superior logic, why are you scared to face them face to face? You have been gossiping about the ANC in their absentia, saying all manner of things. Today they are here. Tell them. So why are you denying the people an opportunity to tell the ANC how they feel about it right on their face? Why? Don't be a coward. When you go to a wedding with your wife and she goes there to the bathroom, when you look, she's talking to another man. You don't have to do anything. You must just continue participating in the wedding. She's yours. They can talk to her anyhow they want. If you trust yourself, she's yours. And you are hers. And when we say she's yours and you are hers, we don't talk in terms of ownership. We're talking, the feeling is mutual. So why do you doubt if you have done a good job at the voter of the EFF? The voter of the EFF is your husband. The voter of the EFF is your wife. You trust that voter that once they go in there, it's going to teach them a lesson. It's going to teach them a lesson. So, no disruption of public meetings, and fighters do not threaten anyone, especially females who belong to other political parties and the EFF females. Don't force anyone to attend EFF meeting or rally. Worse, don't force anyone to donate to the EFF. Because I said there is a culture of extorting people. The next thing you will be going to these Somalians and saying to them, donate, donate. If we take over, we're going to chase you away. Yeah, because you don't donate. You donate to ANC, where now? No, no, no. We're not forcing anyone to donate to the EFF. If they want to do it, let them do it voluntarily. It doesn't stop you from going to ask. You must ask. Don't be scared to ask. Ask. And then where money is going to be taken out, don't go alone. Go with someone. Go with another ground force. When they say, come, we want to give you money, someone must come with you. It must be counted in front of everyone. You leave. Because they are going to give you 200 rand and then go around saying they gave you 500 rand. And there's no one who was with you. When that allegation comes, we're going to ask you a simple question. Who were you with when you went to collect? No, I was alone. Ah, okay. Anything is possible now. You see? There must be an alibi. Especially when it comes to money. Monies can divide and destroy the organization. Fighters, no one must campaign under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Because, or worse, smelling alcohol. You are talking to people. Once there is a sign that you are drunk, they no longer listen to you. You are wasting your time. What are you doing? And when there is one of us, Shem, who's a common drunkard, but loves the EFF, there is no problem. We take our drunkard men and say, Wabona wena, you play a very important role. There where they are cooking, we're going to put you there. They sometimes steal food there. You must look at them when there. And then we put you there. We buy your two and give you your cold two. Sit here and look after these people here. We don't say, hey, we don't want drunkards, hey. You will change the whole community because, hey, these people can drink. So don't do that. You must always know each other's skills and capacity. When we are done with door to door, we come back to join you. We relax now, we're done. We're one thing. So please do not drink alcohol. Do not use vulgar language. Do not swear. So our language must be proper. Do not swear. Fighters, do door to door yourself. Put up posters. Respect women. Respect the police. Work with the IEC. Make sure elections are free and fair. It's your duty. And make sure we've got party agents in all the voting stations. It's a responsibility of all of you seated here. Fighters, do not wear a dirty regalia or a torn regalia, worn out regalia. Like you went to the 10th anniversary and you have been abusing this t-shirt and then it's finished. The neck is even tired, like. And then you wear such things. You go into people's houses. Please. If you don't have regalia, just wear anything. For you to be EFF, you don't have to always wear an EFF regalia. You can wear your own clean clothes. Just be clean and dress properly. Dress the way you want to be addressed. Do not smell armpits. Do not smell armpits. Hey, people, it's Sunday today. There is this middle class house there. They've prepared their 7 colors. They are about to have lunch in such a clean house. Hey, we're from EFF. Something died inside here. You spoil the whole lunch of those people. You spoil it, and then the whole vote is gone. When you say, "Hi, Zoltola mi sebenzi," but ikwafa sebenzi. Ampits. How do you give us sebenzi when? They don't tell you. That they don't tell you. They just look at you like, yeah, nah. When you leave, hey, did you hear? Amakwapa. Onyoga makwapa. Be clean. To be clean is not to be rich. To be clean is self-love and self-care. But more than anything, you must be clean and be presentable, because you are going to talk about the future. So when they look at you, the way you are so presentable, they must say, this is the future. This is how 2024 looks like. They can't look at a person who looks so miserable and promising them a better future. Go and look at the pictures of O.R. Tambo. Go and look at the pictures of Subukwe. Go and look at pictures of Biko. They never wanted to appear like hobos. As if we seek to create a society of hobos. We don't want to create a society of hobos. We don't want to create a society of shacks. We want you to be a billboard of the EFF. When they look at you, they must say exactly, not only how you appear. I said to you, read a chapter. Now when you open your mouth, you mesmerize them. You want them first. Remember, as human beings, we eat with our eyes. A very nice meal, so tasty. If it gets presented here badly, or yeah, there can even be poison. Yeah, we're going to be sick. You have not tested nothing. Their eyes just told you, That's what they do with you. When you enter, they've already finished you. When they are now appreciating you, like, yo, hey, yeah, these EFF people. Then you open your mouth, you are on point. They're like, look at that. This is what we've been waiting for. This is leadership. Because in your own right as a convener and coordinator, you are leaders. Malema is not a Holy Spirit. He can't be everywhere. You are Malema of that place, and you must represent. You must represent. Comrades, tell them about the land. That we made the land fashionable because land is everything. Do not hesitate to tell them about the land. Whoever says to you, hi, the land will make them not to vote for the EFF, let them not vote for the EFF. But the primary existence of the EFF is to fight for the land to be returned into the hands of the rightful owners. Land is not fashion. Land is everything. When you are born into the land. When you die, we must find you a piece of land where you will be buried. At the beginning, even at the end, you need the land. But land gives people dignity and confidence. Land is property. You must look at people who own property, how they behave. They are so confident even when they are empty heads. If you walk out of here, go to any Mqimbi here, it's shacks everywhere here. Go to Mqimbi, you find an old man drunk, follow him to his place. Follow him to his shack. The shack doesn't have a window. It doesn't have a gate, no fencing. It's just a shack in jail. Chain. Before he touches the door, once he arrives and he knows where the stand, the size of the stand, the corners. Once he enters the land, he just stands like this and then he starts talking alone to himself. This is my place here. This is my place. That's what the land does. He's not talking about that shack without windows. He knows, I've got this. Is the beginning of the good things to come. As long as I've got this. Land is a sign of good things to come. And we must never compromise the struggle for land. Even endlane, chairperson, if you stay in your mother's house in a back room, and it happens that there is a funeral at home, they call a family meeting. They sit there, you sit there from the back room, you come and sit with your brothers who came from their places. One of them even parked a Corolla outside there. You sit like this. But when can we bury our uncle, our father, our mother? Backroom dweller. I was thinking Saturday, but Ima. People are still talking. Wait. No one has said anything. No one has said, you are the first one to talk, but people are talking. And we're now, Wabon, don't start with. Don't start. I know that my grandmother had 9 kids. Every time she was fighting with them, she used to tell them about illegal occupations. Go there, people are occupying land there free of charge. You are all here, useless. Go and take a land there. Then, that old man or old woman or a woman in jail who comes from that shack without windows, without water, without toilets, she comes to the family meeting. But Sugu, let your sister sit down. Get her water. Hey, you must be tired. Hey, I guess she comes far. She stays that side now. That they want to tell everybody you've got a piece of land. She stays now. She moved. She stays that side. There are new stands that side. Yeah, that's land. When you look at her, you're like, but she's not working. I'm not working. She's got nothing. If anything, she stays in a shack. But the instinct of these elders tells them that she's got property and therefore she must be respected. You don't treat people who own property with disrespect. We are not obsessed with the German machines. We are not obsessed with luxurious things. We are not obsessed with Pretoria. We are not obsessed with becoming ministers. We are obsessed with the land question of South Africa. Let the land be returned into the hands of our people. That's why the EFF was formed. If you don't know any reason, just tell them we exist to fight for the land. And our children know that. Those of us who are privileged to have children who go to school with white kids, when white kids bully them and they've got no so ways to send to these white kids, they just look at them and say, you guys stole our land, you. Even now children know that white people stole the land. It must be normalized. White people are in possession of a stolen property. And that makes them land thieves. They stole our land, and that is the land. That is the land we are fighting for. 2024 is about returning whatever theme of the elections you are going to adopt as the EFF. I can tell you, for as long as I'm still the president, if there is no land, it can't be a theme of the elections. You can put everything else you want to put. The land is there, and the land is permanent message that we are going to spread in the EFF. And the enemy doesn't want that. Doesn't want us to talk about the land, because they know they are in possession of a stolen property. Fellow fighters, I came here to the church of Reverend Motlala to come and invite you. Having spoken to you for almost 2 hours, all I was saying is, join me in the journey. We are beginning a march. We are marching from this church. We are not going to Kailicha. We are not going anywhere else. We are going to the Union building in Pretoria. We are not going to stop until we arrive in Pretoria. No one is going to stop us until we arrive in Pretoria. Our journey starts now to take the Western Cape. Our journey starts now to take South Africa. Our journey starts now to go and put the flag of the EFF on top of the Union building and all over the world, in all the missionary houses of South Africa. Fighters, it is now on. The war is now. We are not going to be defeated. The DA said we are the enemy number one. They invited us to war, and we are accepting to go to war with the DA and take over the Western Cape. Amandla! Amandla! Viva EFF, viva! Tata EFF, tata! Tata EFF, tata! Nyabasabana! Nyabasabana! Auno makubi siaya siaya no makubi siaya siaya no mabese tobola besishaya besibopa noma besetobola besishaya besibopa noma kubi siyaya siyaya noma kubi siyaya siyaya noma besetobola besishaya besibopa noma besetobola besishaya besibopa. Who left? Who right? You must say. Who left? Kita killer man. Kiri wata wata. Some rumo asicha. Where were you when I'm lit? Where were you when I'm dream? So fast kitchen, emoye. So fast kitchen, Etati Kichi Kichi Kichima Sipram Konto Alliance Sipram Konto Alliance Bonke Labant Hibagit Bonke Labant Hibagit Selta Tile Hilagit Selta Tile Hilagit Brr pa pa Brr pa pa Tension.
Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, leave your thoughts on the comment section and hit the like and subscribe button, and we will meet on the next one. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed the content, leave your thoughts on the comment section and hit the like and subscribe button, and we will meet on the next one.